but you go from working with the Godfather to your godchild in Lisa. Now,
Oh,
as I said, you know, there isn't any 80s party that if you said, let's talk our top 28 tracks in the 80s. You know, I Wonder If I Take You Home will always be, it's, you know, one of the biggest tracks ever made. And I remember as a kid hearing the track and it's like, oh, that's Full Force produced Lisa and Cult Jam. The thing is that you have a group of six producing a group of four. It just felt like, oh, a lot of people in
a
that.
group of three. And you know
Oh,
what?
okay, let's just three. Okay, so.
And you better believe that you're right. It was a lot of people. And we didn't care. We didn't give a shit because at that time we noticed, besides Terry and Jimmy, because they even dressed a certain way and they had a persona about them.
Yeah.
Producers and songwriters never really used to get their props. You know, they never got their props, but we made sure we got our props. A lot of times, even the records we produced, we'd be like how Alfred Hitchcock used to be appearing cameos in his movies. We'd jump in there, Full Force, Get Busy one time, just in other songs. But Lisa was three people. So it was Lisa and the two guys from Cult Jam, but yet Full Force was doing all the music and we was doing all the background vocals with Lisa. You know, the guys from Cult Jam didn't sing no background vocals. We did that. In videos, they lip sync our vocals. But I said, for this first album, we're going to get our props because this is when Take You Home was going to explode. And we felt it. So I said, so for this record, guys, it is not going to be called Lisa and Cult Jam. The artist's name will be called Lisa and Cult Jam with Full Force. Okay. And that's how I Wonder If I Take You Home was. That's how Can You Feel the Beat was. That's how All Cried Out was. Lisa and Cult Jam with Full Force. There's a method to our madness. So people would always have Full Force glued with Lisa and Cult Jam. And that's how we wanted it, you know, so people remember that legacy as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, as I said, we knew yourselves associated with that big track. But I guess I wanted to back, if you guys couldn't get a record deal, how were you able to get a deal for Lisa and Cult Jam? And what was the whole, how did that come about?
And we got a deal for UTFO as well. I mean, I go figure. But that's what Steve Stell was like, yeah, you just can't get a deal for yourself. So produce people. So when we produced Roxanne, it just so happened we went to this rap label, it was an unknown rap label called Select Records. Steve Stell took us there. And they took a chance on us. You know, who was to know that Roxanne would be so huge? And then the rest of their other songs as well. And then Lisa and Cult Jam, my brother B-Fi wrote the song and he sang he did the reference vocals, the horrible reference vocals, but he did it. And the track was crazy from the jump. And Lisa just did what she was told. We auditioned girls. My brother B-Fi was adamant that it had to be a Spanish girl because, you know, there was no Spanish girls happening back then at that time, doing hip hop, R&B, pop, and dance all rolled into one. You know, the only thing they had at that time going was Menudo. That's about it. Yeah, but Spanish people didn't have nobody else. B said, no, we want to got to be Latino because they got the same style as black folk. They got the same love as black folk, the same look. We got to make it Latino because there's no Latino girls. And that's what we did. We filled that void. You know, and Lisa was scared during the audition. You know, she's like, man, going in there and these six big black guys. I mean, but she was fine. You know what I mean? The thing about it is the songs that she was singing, because she looked the part, and we're like, oh, please thank God, hope she could sing even a little bit. And she looked the part. She was really cute, sexy. You know, some of the world famous bosoms in music, and dance music. And that's why people say, so is that why you call her Lisa? That's not the reason. but it was just a great thing. The thing about it, when she was singing songs, she was singing original songs that Mike from Cult Jam wrote during the audition, and the songs sounded horrible, which made Lisa sound horrible. So before she left, we just knew she was going to get it. And then Paul said, well, Lisa, before you go, could you sing us something that maybe it's familiar, more familiar, you know, even if it's a cover song, familiar. And she sang an a cappella. She sang "For Your Eyes Only" by Sheena Easton,
Hmm.
and that was all. That was all she wrote. After that, she got the part, and the rest is history.
Now, I think there are two things that I wanted to go on with that is, by the time you'd finished working with UTFO and you'd gotten that deal, were you more versed onto understanding the business side of the music industry? And so, are they signing to? Do you form a full force record label and you're signing them onto you and managing, owning the masters and then getting a distribution? Or what was the setup when you started with, say, Lisa and Cult Jam?
Yeah, well, they were signed to a production deal.
With full force
I know
production.
people. Yeah, I know people frown on that now, but at that time, Lisa was signed to a production deal, and we were the production deal, and it was still on Columbia Records. That way, Columbia Records couldn't take control away from us because Lisa was signed to a production deal.
Yeah.
So we have certain things to say. We got to say, like the song "All Cried Out," which was a big ballad. You know, Lisa had a love interest in the video, and me and my brother Paul sang the male vocal parts. But the record company is like, listen, you guys could be in the video, but what about if you guys are silhouettes? I'm like, silhouettes? No, no. But if we didn't have a production deal, there'd be no way we could get that leverage. And we said, no, you guys got to get creative. And they got creative in the video. They had the love interest. I think it was a Spanish dude. And when me and Paul sang our parts, they showed the guy's face. His thoughts was us singing. But at that time, I know we not only was Lisa signed to our production company, but yeah, we co-managed her as well, along with Steve Salem. So we had all of that as well as that.
So when you guys signed her to you got the production deal. You weren't able to. Sony didn't say, "Well, can we also be on this so we can release through our production deal as full force?" Or they said, "No, we just want what you bring us." So
No. After Lisa, then full force. And that's why I think it was a method to madness to call that first album Lisa and Cult Jam with full force, because it became so huge that shit, we better sign full force too. What the hell? That would be so dumb if we don't. Yeah. And yeah, we did it. I mean, the album cover was ready before the music was. They was really rushing us to do the album because the song came out overseas and it was on an imported record, which was with various other songs like Malcolm McLaren's Buffalo Gal, but it was only
Buffalo Gals. Yeah,
it was on there as a compilation, but our song was the new Kids on the Block type new group thing, and that emerged out of all those songs. That song emerged huge, and wow, for us it was great. The rest was history.
The thing that really stands out is that you guys didn't go for what I would have assumed and got an R&B black singer to sing it and just stay in a sort of R&B lane. But by going with Lisa, it wasn't more so just because she's Latino, but she sort of crossed divides because they're very much. She could have been right in the middle. She could saddle the black community, but also the pop community because of how she looks. Was that ever in your mind? When you guys thought, let's get her instead of getting a black girl to sing?
Yeah, I don't think that was in our mind. The only thing that was in our mind, it was so organic that my brother B just wanted a Spanish girl. He wasn't thinking about, hey, it'll cross over. He just wanted a Spanish girl to do the drum because nobody's ever done it before. Lisa was before Shakira, Gloria Estefan, Expose. She was before everybody, all the Spanish people. And my brother just wanted that to be a first. So she was definitely the first in that situation,
I mean,
sure.
The video with hair covering one eye. I mean, as I said, as a kid, it would just the beats was one thing. The subject matter of the song. I mean, so as I said, in high school, it was like the biggest thing out there. The programming, the drumming, it was. I don't think anyone. I can't. Who else was doing that? I mean, did anyone realize? Say, wow, you guys.
Yeah, it was early on. People started getting into the drum machine, and so my brother Beat Fine, Kurt, they worked on it together, you know, and then Baby Gerry with the keep don't don't but man, and they still play that song to this day in clubs. It's so
Yeah.
I saw. Listen, they played it when President Obama at the inauguration party, and there's him and his wife dancing to our song and mouthing the words. What a moment that was, you know.
I mean,
So,
when you look back at it, I mean, it's hard in the moment. Did you when it was written? Did you guys think, "Wow, we've got something here"? Did you ever? Did anyone? And as I said, I talked to, you know, Melvin Riley Jr. I've talked to Timmy Gatlin. I asked you them. I said, when you guys are writing these songs, do you
you
know
said you
that?
spoke. Wait. You said you spoke to who? Melvin Riley or Teddy Riley?
Oh, Melvin Riley Jr. and
Melvin Riley from Ready for the World.
yeah, Ready for the World. Yeah, I've interviewed him, Timmy Gatlin, Donald Jones. When I talk to singer-songwriters, I always say to them, to ask them, when you're writing the track and you finish it, do you look and say, yeah, this is going to be a hit, or do you just hope for the best? What was it like, especially with that track? Because that is, I mean, as I said, it's in anyone's top 20 80s track. I mean, it's the most recognized, one of the most recognized. Did you guys know when you finished it, like, wow, this is something, or was it just?
We knew it was something. We just didn't know it was like going to be this huge. It's just like with Roxanne. We didn't know it was going to be the way it did, and that was the thing. From Roxanne to I Wonder If I Take You Home. What a 1-2 punch, and then Alice after that. But we didn't know. We just had confidence in ourselves. You know, it's like trying to make it in the business. We didn't know when we would be successful, but we knew we would be successful. We just didn't know when, you know? And it turned out to be like this, which is incredible, you know?